Hey good looking, join me for a fun little ab workout for all levels of fitness. And before we start training, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I would love to keep working with you. Let's do this as a team. Click that subscribe, click that notification bell, and let's do it. All right, let's go work those abs. Hello there, hey, welcome. I'm PJ from fitnesswithpj.com, and I help women over the age of 40 reclaim the tush, or in today's workout, the abs of their 20s. Hey listen, I have been a personal trainer for 25 years, and I'm 50 years old myself. So I'm well aware that we need different options as we get older, and that's why I started this channel. So hey, I'm so grateful you showed up. We're going to start this workout with a little cat and cow to warm up the spine and the abs, and then we'll flow into our abdominal routine. Here we go. Set up is wrists under shoulders, knees apart under hips. Inhale, allow the low back to sag, head looks up. Exhale, push the ground away, tuck the tailbone under. Follow this rhythm with your breathing, or create a rhythm with your breathing pattern. Really trying to eke out as much stretch as we can. I love this stretch. This is a great way to wake up the spine in the morning as well. And I'm sure you've had some low back pain in your life. By the time we hit 40, if you haven't had low back pain, I don't know, would you been living under a rock? But if you haven't, good for you. But most of us have, and this is, as I said, a really good way to increase the spinal range of motion and warm up the back. 2 more. Last one. And neutral spine. All right, we're going to take ourselves into a plank position. Beginners, I want you to be on your knees, elbows under shoulders. Intermediate advanced, you're on your toes. From this position, we will add a rock and roll. So we're going to take the hip and drop it down. Let's get set up. Beginners, knees, toes for anybody else. Drop it, rock it. Good. Now, if this rolling hip isn't working for you, just hold it static then. Breathe. If you start to feel your low back, I want you to tighten up your bum muscles and your quads a bit. See if you can get those guys to participate in a bit more. When the timer goes, we're on our bellies. We're going to work the spinal extensors, our low back muscles. So when we think abs, we also have to think low back too. We don't want to work just one side of the body. We want to work both sides. Time. On your stomach, arms extended out, palms down. You'll lift the upper and the lower body, then open up the legs, arms come to shoulder height, close, and then lower. So we lift, open, and lower. I call this a starfish, my starfish move. Chin is tucked in, we've got the back of the neck long, working into those extensors in the back. Feeling the glutes, the hips fired up, even the shoulders. Timer goes on our backs for a crunch. Abdominal crunch coming up. Time. All right. When we do a crunch, knees are bent. We never do a full sit-up. All right, if you find that you're doing a workout and they're doing a full sit-up, run away. All right, our abdominals only work for the first 30 degrees of motion, then from there, hip flexors kick in. Hip flexors tend to already be quite a dominant muscle on us. So I want you to think about exhaling and rolling up, trying to get the tips of your shoulder blades off your mat. Full crunches too, when we do a full sit-up, is very stressful on the low back. And most of us, as I said earlier, have encountered some sort of low back pain and we're trying to avoid it thereafter. Breathe out. Exhale as you lift. That's going to help give you power with those abs. Hands are going to come behind so you're supporting the head. You're not feeling anything in your neck. One more. release. Arms down by your side, feet together, knees together. Exhale, roll the knees towards the chest, tip the toes down to the ground. Exhale, good. So reverse curl, trying to now feel the abdominals fire up from the bottom. Rolling your tailbone off your mat. Don't press too hard with the hands. If you find you are, you might even want to just lift your hands right off of the floor. Coordinate that exhale as the knees are coming towards you. Great job. We're on our hands and knees, just like how we started the warm-up, coming up next. I like this move too, because I can feel my abs, but I also get a nice stretch in my low back every time my knees come up. Time. Wrists under shoulders, knees apart, under hips. Pull the belly button in towards your spine. Extend one arm and the opposite leg. Slowly lower the other side. While we do this, we're really focusing on pulling that belly button in towards the spine, not shifting the hips too much as we extend the leg out. Working our spinal rotators, so muscles up and down the spinal column called multifidi. Really important for spinal stability. So once again, yes, I said we're working abs, but we cannot forget about your spine and your low back muscles. Good, keep breathing. Moving on to our side time right here. So, elbow under shoulder, bottom knees on the ground, top leg is straight. From this position, you'll lift yourself up into a side plank. Shoulder and elbow aligned, hips are squared. To advance the movement, you can stack the feet. You can also get into a starfish. Now, if this bothers your shoulder, I get that. What I'm going to ask you to do then is drop down, palm is flat, and do a side crunch instead. So this is my typical sub out in all my workouts when we're doing side planks, and that could irritate your shoulder. So again, pay attention what your body's telling you. Pick the level or pick the exercise that I demo and then see if you can do it. If you can't, I'm always going to give you an option. Except quitting. Quitting's not an option, but I don't think that's you. You showed up, so you are far from it. Time. Other side. So we've got the option on the forearm or on that bottom hand for a side crunch, rib to hip, bottom knee or feet stacked, and lift. One more move after this, and then we are done. Or, for you super ambitious people, you can redo it again. But I wanted to put up something short and sweet on the channel that you could do after a workout, after a walk, or if you just have a few minutes, something to do. So my workouts tend to be on the longer side. Almost there. Keep those hips up high. Keep yourself squared. Time. All right. Feet on the mat, hands light behind the head. Curl, knee to opposite elbow and lower down. To intensify it, turn it into a bicycle crunch. Breathe out as you lift and twist. Time. Bridge your hips up for me. If you're able to, interlace your hands under your bum and then walk and pin the shoulders under. We'll just stretch into the abs and the front of the body with this, work into the glutes and low back a bit, and then you're done. Thank you so much for joining me. I thought I'd be all by myself and really lonely. Release down, pull the knees into the chest, maybe rock them side to side. Hands light behind the knees, rock yourself up to a seated position, and we did it! Hey, before you take off on me, a couple of things. First, if you liked it, I'd love a thumbs up. Second, if you haven't already, I would love to keep working with you. Click that subscribe button and notification bell. And then finally, if you have done some of my workouts, I would love your support on Patreon. It's the women in that community that help keep this channel running, and we could use your support. The information's down below, and it's also going to float across here somewhere. So have yourself a great rest of your day. Mwah. All right, good job.